Today, as usual, Yuri begged me to take the cab with him. But I succeeded in losing him and went to school. The bus is genuinely hell. But I can't just take the cab when all the others, except Yuri, have to get on the bus.
유리는 왜 자꾸 마스터를 택시에 태우려고 하는 걸까요?
Yona said while sighing. Be careful of the name. I don't know, he's so persistent. Is there a need to insist like that?
그 스마트폰이란 건 언제 사주는 걸까요?
Oh yeah. Oh right. Yuri still hasn't bought them? For now, I was the only one using the smartphone Yuri bought. I told him for sure I wouldn't use it if he didn't buy one for everyone else. I should tell him this is clearly a breach of contract.
화상 채팅 하고 싶어요.
He'll get you one soon. I should confront Yuri when I see him today. I felt bad to use the good stuff by myself. I think it'd be okay to urge him a bit, since his first payday seems to be coming soon. I think Yuri has a lot of extra income other than his salary. What? Yona suddenly stopped walking. And he turned around. What's up, Yona?
아, 방금 소리를 들어서요.
What?
고양이요.
Then he smiles slightly. A cat? You just heard a cat? Yona nodded.
아, 버스 놓치겠어요. 얼른 가요.
Yona grabbed my clothes and said, we really should run. Today's classes are almost finished.
아, 맞다. 너희들 부활동 뭐 할지 정했어?
Hearing Soy's voice, I look up. Soy was facing Lance and Yona with a curious face. Soy used to use me to catch glimpses of the Hot Five, but now she seems to be quite close to them.
혹시 아직 안 정했으면 말이야.
관심 없습니다.
I thought they became pretty close, but Lance still interrupts and ignores her. I can almost feel his coldness from over here.
그래? 알았어. 그럼 연호는 뭐 할지 정했어?
아, 아니요. 저는 아직 어떤 부가 있는지 몰라서요.
Soy instantly brightened from Yona's comment.
짜잔! 그럴 줄 알고 뽑아왔지. 우리 아카데미 동아리 리스트야.
Soy handed Yona and I each a thick batch of papers.
아, 감사합니다.
Well, why to me? Soy smiled after I asked.
넌 징검다리야. 네 옆에 얼음 씨한테 대신 전해줘. 내가 줬다간 바로 버릴 것 같은 불길한 예감이 들어서 말이야.
True.
설마 네가 줘도 버리려나? 아, 너도 나랑 같은 취급을 받는 처지라면 할 수 없고.
Lance's eyebrows flinched after hearing Soy. Is she trying to provoke him? Ice Lance over there wouldn't care. Lance, take this. Lance glared at the papers in my hands for a moment. Then he sighed slightly and took it. Huh? He took it. I was surprised at the unexpected response.
역시.
Soy looked satisfied.
정말 많네요.
Yona mumbled while skimming through the list Soy gave him.
그렇지? 이 근처에 있는 교육기관이라고는 우리 아카데미 뿐이라서 정부 지원을 많이 받는다고 하더라. 그래서 그걸 노리고 이런저런 유령 부서들이 생기다 보니 이렇게 많아진 거래. 그 중에서 활동다운 활동을 하고 있는 분은 여기 앞에 별 표시가 있는 17개가 전부야. 나머지 매년 활동비나 타먹으면서 탱자탱자 노는 건 공공연한 비밀이지. 참고로 난 그렇게 탱자탱자 놀고 먹는 부서 중 하나인 학생회에 속해 있지.
The student government plays around? I thought they were busy with school events.
1년 중에 잠깐만 바빠. 선도부원들은 항상 바쁘지. 나머지 부원들은 맨날 노는걸. 요즘 학생회실에서는 뭘 하는지 알아? 매일매일 알까기 시합만 한다니까. 그런데 회장이 부회장을 연속으로 이겨서 그런지 분위기가 별로야.
He doesn't look that way. Surprising. Of course, it's not good to judge someone by the looks.
이 아카데미엔 겉만 멀쩡하고 이상한 사람 많잖아.
So he shrugged her shoulders and said,
친구, 잠시 이리 와보게나.
So he pulled at my clothes. What?
부탁이 있어. 저 아이스 프린스가 학생회 들어올 수 있게 말 좀 잘해줘.
You can ask him yourself.
방금 프린트물 받는 거 못 봤어? 내가 줬으면 거들떠도 안 봤을걸? 아무튼 너한테는 좀 덜 차가운 것 같단 말이야.
He is definitely less indifferent to me than to the other kids. But that's not because I'm somehow more special to Lance. It's probably because I see him every day at home and he's more used to me.
아이스 프린스는 학생회에 꼭 필요한 인재야. 새로 들어온 선도부원이 일이 많다고 나가버렸거든. 그런데 그 일을 아이스 프린스는 아주 잘할 것 같단 말이지.
I agree that Lance would be good in the student government.
그리고 아이스 프린스만 온다면 학생회에 꽃이 피겠지. 차가운 얼음꽃이 필 거야.
It'd be better to ignore Soy's last words. Then what should I do? I guess suggesting to Lance would be caring for him, so sorry. He doesn't know how tiring club activities can be. But since he's going to school anyways, I think it'd be good to join a club. Lance is perfect for the student government, but... I was mumbling to myself when I noticed Lance looking at me. Oops. I unconsciously avoided his gaze. Why did I do that? Yona continued to read the printouts. Is there a club you like?
네, 찾은 것 같아요.
Yona beamed. I have no idea why the last class had to be music.
자, 다들 느껴지나? 이 부분에서 내뿜는 아름다운 정열 말이야.
느껴집니다!
If I take this class too seriously, I think I'll go nuts. To refresh my mind, I turned my gaze to the view outside the window. I see Yono next to me staring out the window too. Why is he though? I looked carefully and noticed he wasn't just staring blankly towards the window. Instead it looked like he was searching for something outside.
자, 그리고 클라이막스는 바로 여기다. 이 부분은 연주자마다 특색 있게 해석하는 부분이기도 하다. 난 부드럽게 들어가다 예고 없이 거칠게 들어가는 것을 선호하는 편이지. 물론 다양한 스타일이 가능하다는 것이 나의 장점이기도 하지.
If my ears aren't wrong, today's class seemed to be more confusing than usual. I was swept by a strong urge to run out of the classroom. At that moment, Yono suddenly stood up. What's wrong with him? His gaze was fixed at the view outside the window. Yona? Yona stormed out of the music room without a moment of hesitation. What's happening?
이런 수업을 듣느니 차라리 뛰쳐나가고 말겠다는 의지로군요.
Lance teased Yuri and said,
내 가르침의 위대함을 모르는 체리보이들에게는 나의 수업이 버거울 테지.
유리 선생님의 가르침을 듣고 깨달음을 얻어 뛰쳐나간 것일 수도 있죠.
역시 반장이군.
I have no idea when they hit it off and became a couple. Not like that, right? But more importantly, Lance and Yuri didn't seem to care, but I was worried about Yona. Why did he suddenly run out? I thought he would return soon, but he didn't come back even after school ended, and everyone cleaned the classroom. As all the kids started to head out, I got more nervous.
병아리는 아직도 안 오네?
집에 간 걸지도 몰라.
Oh, maybe.
이상하네. 병아리는 수업도 잘 듣고 졸지도 않잖아. 갑자기 왜 그런 거야?
Really, the normal Yona would never have done that. I couldn't come up with a reason, no matter how hard I thought. Why did he suddenly burst out without a single word? Was he sick? This morning, too. He stopped and turned around saying he heard a cat. What if he really started hearing things because he's sick? He's not... I suddenly stood up from my seat because of the nerve-wracking thought. What if he turned back into a doll? He hasn't been turned into a doll, has he? Has he?
너 괜찮아?
I have to find him.
우리도 같이 한번...
I have to find him. I suddenly burst out of the classroom.
쟤 괜찮은 거야? 따라 나가볼까?
제가 따라 나가겠습니다.
우리도 도울 수 있어.
도움은 필요 없습니다. 나쁜 일이 생겼을 수도 있으니까요.
그렇다면 더 도와줘야 하는 거 아니야?
아무튼 따라오지 마십시오. 제가 알아서 하겠습니다.
I walked peering around every corner of the building. I felt like if I don't find Yona now, my worst nightmare will come true. I have to meet him. I couldn't bear not to witness Yona breathing and moving with my own eyes. I have to find Yona.
테이, 내일 봐! 내일 또 놀자! 너무 좋아. 집에 가고 싶지 않아.
야, 히로임! 지금 끝난 거야?
Red. I found Red among the girls.
너 아파? 괜찮은 거야?
Oh, before that,
아침에 그 쌩쌩한 모습은 어디 갔어? 자, 이거 줄 테니까 기운 내.
Red handed me something. More candy. Huh? I took it without knowing what it is.
초코 과자야. 저번에 네가 물어봤던 그 과자 있지? 애들 말로는 그거 요즘 없어서 못 사 먹는 거래.
잠깐. 너 괜찮아?
As soon as Red finished talking, Tay came right beside me and looked at me. Help. Help me. Yona's missing.
뭐? 옐로우가?
Red dropped the chocolate snack he was eating. Hearing someone panting, I looked by my side to see Lance, who seemed to have been running just until now.
멋대로 혼자 뛰쳐나가면 어떡합니까?
Oh, Lance. Did he come looking for me? Although I thought Lance would never do that, I was relieved to see him right in front of my eyes.
옐로우가 사라졌다니! 총사령관, 악당이 잡아간 거면 어떡하지?
진정해. 일단 그리 멀리 가지는 못했을 거야. 언제 없어진 거야?
About 2 hours ago. It was during class and he just ran out. Tay closed his eyes and thought for a moment.
다들 흩어져서 찾아보자. 유리한테는 건물 안쪽을 맡아달라고 할 테니 란스는 이 근처를 둘러봐줘. 나와 레드는 이 근방에서 연우를 본 사람이 있는지 수소문을 해볼게.
Me too. I'll come with you.
넌 집으로 가 있는 게 좋을 것 같아.
I can't do that. I felt guilty for not taking care of Yona more. Please. I hope at least what I fear hasn't happened. I wanted to follow them and help, but Tay told me to go back home.
혹시 연호가 혼자 집으로 돌아올지도 모르잖아. 그 녀석이 돌아오면 누군가는 집에 있어야지.
But...
혹시라도 좋지 않은 일이 생겼다면 거기에 너까지 휘말릴 수 있어. 부탁이니까 너는 안전한 곳으로 돌아가서 기다리고 있어.
야! 너 울지 마!
Red yelled at me. I came back to my senses and realized I was crying. God, so pathetic. I was about to wipe away the tears with my sleeve when a handkerchief suddenly appeared in front of my eyes. After taking it, I looked up to find Lance coldly stare down at me.
그만 우세요. 당신이 운다고 해서 사라진 연호가 나타나는 것도 아니지 않습니까? 당신은 우리의 주인입니다. 그런 당신이 이렇게 울고만 있으면 당신의 인형인 우리도 어떻게 해야 할지 모르겠단 말입니다. 그리고 연호는 야무진 아이입니다. 그러니 란스 말이 맞아.
Tay interrupted Lance and approached me. I saw Tay's worried face right by Lance. Oh, okay. I must have gotten too emotional. Sorry, let's try to figure this out. I should pull myself together at times like this. Nothing's going to happen but just crying. After I spoke, Lance turned away to look at someplace else. I pray that nothing bad happens to Yono while we search for him. Please let us find him safe. It was at that moment I heard a tiny cat crying from beneath my legs. Sounds like a big cat though.
이 생물은 뭐야?
Best meow ever.
이 녀석 뭐야? 우리를 보면서 울고 있는데?
He knows something.
이상하군. 보통 길고양이는 사람을 피하기 마련인데.
The cat kept on rubbing its body on my legs and cried. My legs tickled a bit. Are street cats usually this friendly to strange people? Oh, cat. I remembered Yono saying in the morning.
아, 방금 소리를 들어서요.
He clearly said he heard a cat. Does this cat have something to do with Yono? For some reason I was thinking about that possibility. Oh? The cat suddenly turned and ran away. What should I do? Okay, I've played the demo, so I know that following the cat will lead you to both Yono and Lance. So I'll look around the school this time, see what happens. I thought it was risky to follow the cat. It seemed better to use that time to look around places he might actually be at. I'll go search the building. Since he was seen last in the music room, I should start there. I turned around and ran back to the building.
야, 너 기다려! 아직!
I heard Red shout from behind, but I ran without glancing back. It would be more uncomfortable for us to act together right now. Not in the classroom either. Jonna's bag was still on the desk. Let's go to the hallway. The building was silent. I didn't feel anyone's presence. Where the hell are you, Jonna? He didn't seem to be in the building no matter how hard I looked. Should I have just followed that cat? I dropped down to the ground in despair. I just hope nothing bad has happened to him. He hasn't been turned back to a doll, has he? I couldn't shake off that horrible thought, and I was jittery and anxious.
응? 여기서 뭐 하는 거야?
Yuri. I raised my head at a familiar voice. Oh, it's Yuri. Yuri.
아직 집에 가지 않았군.
I couldn't hide my grim face as I looked at Yuri.
그 표정은 뭐야? 무슨 일 있어?
I didn't have the energy to reply, so I just nodded.
혹시 연호를 아직 못 찾은 건가?
Yeah. I caught my breath and continued. He didn't come back after storming out during music class. His bag's still here, so I searched the building, but I don't think he's anywhere. What if something bad happens to him? I didn't mention the one thing I feared the most. I'm too scared to even say out loud the possibility of him being a doll again. I anxiously looked up at Yuri. What do I do? I didn't know where I had to start. Where the hell is Jonna? What if something bad happened? What if we don't find him? Yuri stood in front of me without a word. The dolls that are alive and moving in front of me, Yuri and all the others, flashed through my mind. What if they all turn back into dolls without warning? What do I do? I felt like crying just by the thought, so I lowered my head. I want to believe something like that won't happen. Ah! I came back to my senses at the sudden pain on my arm. Yuri.
일어나, 가자.
Going where? Wait, let's go.
걱정이 그렇게 차고 넘치면 미용에 안 좋아.
Yuri didn't listen to me and walked with my arm in his hand. Where the hell is he going? Yuri dragged me out of the school gate. I no longer could see Tay, Red, or Lance. Everyone must have gone to find Jonna. Wow. I was looking at where the boys were gathered before, when Yuri got a cab. What? A cab?
타시지요, 공주님.
Yuri opened the door for me. Wait, I still haven't found Jonna.
택시기사님, 좋은 하루죠?
Yuri took out several bills from his pocket.
요금은 선물로 드릴 테니까 이 아가씨를 목적지까지 안전하게 데려다 주세요.
아니 선생님, 이건 택시 요금 치고는 너무 많은데요?
이 아가씨가 택시에서 내려서 어디론가 튀면 그건 기사님 책임입니다. 집 안으로 잘 들어가는 것까지 봐주시길 부탁드립니다.
저기 선생님, 그건 좀...
그럼 이 정도면 되나?
Yuri took out several more bills, and the driver looked at him with shock. Yuri, what the hell are you doing?
꼬마 아가씨는 가서 쉬라는 뜻이지. 절대 내가 돌아갈 때까지 집 밖으로 나가지 마.
Yuri leaned his face in close to mine.
너무 걱정하지 마. 공주님은 왕자님이 올 때까지 집에 가서 한숨 푹 자고 있으면 돼. 알았지?
Leaving those words, Yuri closed the cab door. When I was about to open the door, the driver locked the doors and took off. Driver, stop!
아가씨, 차 안에서 움직이지 마세요. 위험합니다.
I was witnessing firsthand the power of Yuri's wallet.